What's going on today, guys? Welcome to the channel. What do you guys think of when you think of the best affordable dress watch? For me, it's without question the Orient Bambino. They just came out with a new 38mm Bambino, which a lot of people were asking for, and I definitely can't wait to get my hands on one of those. But in the meantime, I have a second generation version 1 and a second generation version 4 to show you guys. So let's go ahead, dive down, and take a look at these things. Alright, so here I have two versions of the Bambino. These are both from the second generation. This one here is the first version of the second generation, and this one is the fourth version of the second generation. And these both come in different color options. There's a ton of different options with the Bambino line. So first off, what comes with it, you just have your traditional box here, Orient box. It's nothing special, but does the job, and a little pillow. You just get a little international guarantee in there, and instruction manual, and then you get a little hang tag, little Orient hang tag. So we're gonna start off with dimensions, and now the dimensions on both of these, I'm glad that I got these two models because the dimensions on the version 4 are different than the version 1, and also I believe version 2 and 3 are the same as the version 1, and maybe the version 5 as well. Don't quote me on that though. But the version 1 is 40.5 millimeters on the case, whereas the version 4 is 41.7. Thickness on both is 11.5 millimeters, so nice thin profile. Wears very well. You have 46.2 millimeter lug to lug on the version 1, and then you have 48.6 on the version 2. I'm sorry, version 4. The lug width on the version 1 is 21 millimeters, and the lug width on the version 4 is 22 millimeters. Specs on both these watches, they both have all 316L stainless steel cases, crowns, and case backs. They have boxed mineral crystal, Orient F6724 automatic movement with hacking and hand winding, and 30 meters of water resistance. Price on these guys is going to be anywhere from $100 to $200 depending on which model you choose. I'll leave links down for all of them below. Starting with the dial and hands, and we'll start with the green one here because I really love this green gradient dial. It's very nice. The outer part is faded to black, whereas you have this beautiful sunburst green in the middle. It's like a forest green. Really nice looking. Nice PVD plated applied indices and hands, and they look really good. They're very well done. I apologize, the lighting in here isn't great. I need to get some better studio lights. But you have an applied logo at the 12 and some printing below that. It says automatic and Orient. Then you have the word water resistant printed at the 6. The date wheel cutout at the 3 is beveled and framed. I honestly could have done without the frame, but overall it is a really beautiful dial. Black dial in the version 1 is a very nice flat black color. It also has very nice applied indices and beautiful Dauphine hands. I have to say that the finishing on the hands and the indices on both these watches is really phenomenal. This one has the same applied logo and printing with Orient automatic and then water resistant. Crystal. The crystal is a box domed mineral crystal. It's the same crystal used on both watches, so no need showing you that one. But it's a very nice piece of crystal. Of course, it would be nicer if it were sapphire, but for this price, I'm not going to complain too much about that. But it is a very nice looking piece of crystal and gives it that nice vintage look, which I love. Next up is the crown, and it's interesting because the version 4 does not have a signed crown, whereas the version 1 does. And I think the version 2, 3, and 5 also have signed crowns. I'm not sure if it's just because this one is PVD coated, but that wouldn't really make sense. So maybe they just don't sign the crowns on the version 4. But the crown is slightly larger on the version 4 than it is on the version 1. It's 5.8 millimeters on the version 4, 5.3 on the version 1. Okay, shape and finishing. I really love just the simplistic shape of the Bambino. Finishing is really good too for this price. You really can't complain. It's definitely nicely done. The brushing on the sides is nice and smooth, and the polishing looks very nicely done as well. Definitely can't ask for better finishing on a sub $200 watch. So next up we have the strap, and the straps are definitely nothing to write home about. They have a very cheap plasticky feel, but they may break in well over time. I'm really not sure, but yeah, if I were you, I would change out the strap as soon as possible. But they do get the job done if you choose to keep them on, but you can easily find a strap on Amazon for 15-20 bucks. That'll make it a lot nicer. Caseback is pretty plain, just a plain stainless steel caseback. It is a screw down, and you got some information on there. Nothing crazy. Next up we have movement, and this is probably my favorite part of this watch because this houses the in-house Orient F6724 movement, which is just really impressive at the price that they're asking. You're talking $100 for some of these Orient Bambino line watches, and they have an in-house automatic movement that actually hacks and hand winds. So very comparable to, say, the NH35. This is a 22 joule movement. It beats at 21,600 beats per hour. It does hack and it hand winds. It has a 40-hour power reserve, and is, I believe, minus 15 to plus 25 seconds per day accurate. This movement is a successor to the caliber 48743, which Orient described as a workhorse movement, but it didn't hack or hand wind, so therefore it became outdated. So this newer F6724 movement has been around for about 6 years. So to me, it has proven itself to be a quality movement and is a big competitor to the NH35. Plus, it's made by Orient, which is owned by Epson, and Epson also owns Seiko, so clearly both companies know how to make some movements. Orient tends to stay more affordable than Seiko, though, in pretty much every category, and it's probably just because Seiko has more history, but Orient really does make some great watches. Unfortunately, there is no lume to show you, so we'll move on to the wrist shot. Wrist check. I got this bad boy in yesterday, so I'm going to be doing a review on this soon. This is the Rolex Daytona homage by Pagani Design, so excited to get a review in for that, but give me some time because I need to spend some time with the watch first. Alright, wrist check. There's the version 1, and yeah, I just, like I said, I highly recommend getting it off the strap. It does look pretty good, but it's just not very comfortable, and trust me, it'll look better on another strap. Like I said, I'll pop up some B-roll of the other strap. And the version 4, again, does look pretty good. I kind of like how it's got the green and brown going there, matching with the dial, but it's just, again, has a plasticky feel. A little more comfortable than the version 1, but definitely recommend another strap. Pros and cons. Pro, the in-house movement is definitely a pro. That in-house automatic movement's really good and a huge pro for this watch. Dial is another pro. The dials on these watches are phenomenal. Just really, really nice sunburst effect, and whatever the effect they're going for, whether it's sunburst or matte, they just execute it really well, and it looks really great. So props to them on that. Price. The price on these watches is phenomenal. Can't beat it. Nothing more you can say about that. And the case. I love the case shape, the simplistic shape of it. It sits on wrist very nicely, and I do like the shape. So those are my pros. Cons, definitely mineral crystal has to be a con, even though it doesn't bother me too much because of the price. I still have to list it as a con. And the water resistance is definitely a con. I would have liked to see them maybe add a screw down crown and get 50 meters. 30 is just too low. It is a dress watch, so I'm not going to give them too much flack on that, but yeah, they could have made it a little bit better. Overall impressions, well, needless to say, guys, I absolutely love the Orient Bambino line. I've had 3 pass through my hands now, and I can assure you that these watches are the best you're going to get when it comes to an affordable automatic dress watch. Even the watch snobs got to respect what Orient did with the Bambino line. These watches are well respected by everyone in the community, and for very good reason. So that's going to wrap it up today, guys. So remember to hit that like and subscribe button and hit that bell icon to be notified when I release a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to keep watching out.